Well, hello, everybody. This is Mr. Thompson. For those of you who weren't able to join us in class today, we went over each and every one of the observations. Now, those observations can be found in the Google Classroom. You go to the Google site under classwork, which is at the very top. You follow the Google site to the upper right corner. It says Changing Earth. Click on that. And just below that, on the right of the video, there is this document filled out by me. Now, I'm going to go through and tell you what's on that document right now and describe it here. But if you want to see the document, it's over there. It'll be in the Google Classroom to Google Sites, Changing Earth, next to the video, rock observations. Now, first rock in the series that we looked at is rock number 1. Rock number 1 is a piece of pumice. Now, pumice has lots of holes in it. It's kind of glassy in appearance. It looks almost like plastic. Some people say it looked 3D printed. It breaks relatively easily, and it's very light when you feel it. Now, its hardness is quite hard. Its hardness is around a 7. So in my sheet it says pumice. This is what it's called, is pumice. It's gray, holes with crumbling edges, crushes into glassy powder for cleave and break, crystals and porous. It's very porous with holes and very light under other. Number 2. Number 2 is dark gray to black. It's very fine grained. The grains in this are extremely small. You can see them with a hand lens. When you break it, it breaks into irregular shapes. As you can see, it doesn't break into flat surfaces at all. It's extremely fine and non-visible. Without a magnifying lens, you frequently can't see the grains in basalt rock. It looks like a normal gray rock to most people. Rock number 3. This one's a little trickier. Now, this one is dark gray and has white stripes often, and it looks layered. And if you look at this one, you can see the layers in it a little bit. Now, it has a little bit of a slick or slippery look and feel to it. It flakes off into small little tiny flakes. If you look at in the right light, you can see some of the flakiness to it. Get the right glint off of it. Now, it's breaks into flake and flat surfaces. Extremely fine. They're visible, but the crystals are small, and without magnification, you really can't make them out. Now, this is called gneiss. G-N-E-I-S-S. G-N-E-I-S-S. Gneiss. Next one is a dark grayish green to black rock. You can see the shininess and the sparkling there. So it does break into rectangular like shapes, so it does have some cleave to it. The crystals are small and kind of small with fine grains in them. And it's pretty hard, quite dark in color. There's a pretty good flat surface on that one there. You can actually see pretty flat shininess to it. This is called gabbro. G-A-B-B-R-O. Gabbro. Going to number 5. That's the same as number 2, so this is just basalt. Now, I was expecting it to be a vesicular basalt, and vesicular just means it is full of holes. A lot of times you'll see this lava rock that has bubbles in it. A lava rock with bubbles is vesicular, and this is non-vesicular. It's just plain old basalt. Now, number 6. This one's quite dark. It has a little bit of white in it. You can see a little bit of the white on this one. Fine grained. This has got crystals in it. It breaks a little bit into uneven shapes mostly. You will see crystal structures present, but they're pretty small. But the shininess is kind of fun to look at. Now, this one is called diorite. and it's black with like pepper with a little bit of salt. So it'll have little fine lines of white in it, or little fine checks of white in it. But this is diorite. Number 7 is one of the easiest to identify. Number 7, diorite. Is marble. It's reasonably soft. You can scratch it with your fingernail. It breaks into little flakiness to it. Irregular shapes mostly. There are crystal structures visible, but they're very fine. One of the cool things about this rock is you can carve it with a knife. So this is called marble, M-A-R-B-L-E. Number 8. Now we're turning over the sheet. This is on the back side. Rhyolite. This is a pink rock. Sometimes it goes pink to gray. This one's kind of neat because you can actually make out mica crystals in it, and they're flat little rectangles. This is quite hard. It will scratch glass easily. It breaks unevenly. The crystals are small and fine, and usually little rectangles or squares. And that is called rhyolite, R-H-Y-O-L-I-T-E, rhyolite. Number 9, this one's one of the better samples of number 9 we have, but it doesn't show very well even this. There are some layers to this one, kind of going this way, across. Now, this is quartzite, Q-U-A-R-T-Z-I-T-E, quartzite. Quartzite's quite hard. It will scratch glass. It has really small, fine crystals in it typically, but it can range anywhere from white to greenish to pinkish in quartzite. And basically what it is sandstone that's melted into a harder rock. And it's quite hard. This one has some veining in it. It's got gray veins, and it's pink and white. And this one can be white and with little black flakes sometimes. It breaks into uneven chunks, but with some forms of flat sides to it. This is granite. This is just plain old granite. White or pink granite, okay? Number 11 is probably the easiest rock to identify. It looks like glass or plastic. It's black. It has something called conchoidal cleavage. What that means is, you see how that kind of seashell-y shape broke away from it? That's called conchoidal. Now, conchoidal cleavage means that this can be really sharp. This is like hardness 7, so it's like sharp enough to cut glass easily. They made knives out of this and arrowheads. And it's volcanic glass, obsidian, O-B-S-I-D-I-A-N, obsidian. Number 12. Now 12 is kind of cool. If I can get it to come out of the box. Just a sec. Not cooperating very well. There it comes. Now this one breaks into flat chunks. It's quite hard, medium to hard. Now this one here, they used to make chalkboards out of it. This is called slate. They also use it to put on roofs for roof tiles. It's not really dusty, but it's a medium to hard. It's going to break off into flakes and rectangles. And this is called slate. Number 13. This one is shiny. It's got wavy structures in it often, and layers. Now, if it's shiny with waves, like this is called schist. Now, the shininess is mica flaking off into the different materials. This is schist. Schist. Now, looking at schist, it's medium to softer. It's a little bit slick. It flakes. There are no real crystals in it, but they kind of have shiny a flare of shininess to them. Now, number 14. Now the surface of this tends to be a little rougher. It's not flat like the slate was. It's kind of dirty to the feel. So it's not one of the harder rocks. It breaks into flat chunks like slate does. There's no crystals, and it's tabular and chunky when it breaks up. This is called mudstone. Next one up, number 15. This is another piece of gabbro. Now, this is the same as we had on number 4, so I'm not going to go into that one too much. But gabbro basically runs into dark greens, and this is a finer grained gabbro, so it's almost an andesite, but it's gabbro. And second to last one. This one is a mica schist. Now, schist is kind of wavy and flaky. When it has absolute flakes that will come off in it, like this one does, the flakes will come off. This is called mica schist. Those flakes are actually mineral flakes, and they're crystals of mica that come off. That's called mica schist. Flaky greenish, medium to hard, flakes a bit rougher, flat to shiny, and wavy crystals. And the last one, which is pretty easy to ID, I think. This one's quite hard. It doesn't break into specific rectangular chunks. The white and the pink granite breaks off into chunks better. Red granite tends to be a little harder and denser. So this is red granite. Now you'll see the crystal structures in it and the shininess. It breaks into uneven. It's going to have more black or dark gray in it. And the red will be even a little deeper red than the white pinkish that normal granite has. So this is red granite. And that is all of the rocks. And I hope you're having a good day. Now, you're going to need to identify all of these on Friday. I will have good pictures without the numbers. So it may even be this set. It might be a different set. But I'll pick 5 from these sets that will match up with the descriptions quite well. Hope you have a great day. Bye.